Hi everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. Welcome to October 2016's message. I work with the energy of Archangel Metatron, I work with colour therapy, and I'm just back from USA where I held some really successful workshops, met some wonderful people, and I'm feeling really buoyed up actually with a sense of hope. I want to say a sense of hope because when you go to a new country and it's as though we're planting seeds of energy in that country. What was so amazing was meeting people who were all soul family. Every single person that came felt as though they had known each other before, and it felt very much like a reuniting of souls. So, and what was really lovely is that many of them are going to stay in touch as well. So hello to all of you if I saw you in America. Hello also to everyone else who just watches my videos and is linked into the energy of this work. What we're going to be doing today is looking at the energy of October 2016. I'm a few days late in doing this, just sort of catching up now. Now I'm back. Just have to say also, I am completely booked up with readings and sessions. So I've got a lot of catching up to do in October. There are people that have already paid for sessions and have been waiting really patiently, particularly for the colour and numerology. So they take precedence, and then when I have availability, I will next put it up on my page. So must just say that because a few people have been asking for sessions since I got back, and I don't have the time at the moment. So anyway, that's just a business thing. Let's get into the energy of the month. I have, I suppose, been tuning into the energy of October for a few days because I'm making this on the 6th of October. So we're a few days into it. We've had all sorts of eclipses in September, powerful solar energies and storms coming in. As I make this, Hurricane Matthew is about to land in the USA, so I send you all lots of love, anybody that's going to be affected by that. One piece of information I did have regarding that, and just take this if it resonates, and if it doesn't resonate, just leave it, because I know obviously that whole Florida coast is very susceptible to these weather patterns. But it did strike me that with the climate of political fear, and I want to say possible corruption in the air, Florida in particular feels as though it's getting a special cleansing, even though it's extremely unpleasant. This is an earth energy cleansing coming up from the element of water. And I think I'm right in saying that the one of the previous elections in the USA, the state of Florida, there was all sorts of controversy, wasn't there, about voting irregularity. And I think I'm going back to the time of the Al Gore Bush presidency. Some people even feeling that Gore, well, he won the popular vote, and of course he had a great environmental agenda coming in there. There feels as though there's a cleansing going on in that part of the USA, and that doesn't make it any easier if you're actually living through it at the moment and your homes and your businesses are affected. But I'm afraid Mother Earth Gaia has her own agenda sometimes, and you know, we are quite lucky to live upon this earth. Wherever we live upon it, we are just visitors here, and the earth will do what it needs to do to cleanse when it feels as though it's needed, whether that is through political corruption, whether it is through man-made energy, whatever is going on. So, but anyway, very much holding you in light today, America, and hoping that the storm is not as severe as they are predicting it to be. Moving on from that, another piece of information that was just coming through to me over the last few days about October is that I feel as though September was very much about making decisions. or being forced to make decisions. Lots of things ending, new beginnings starting to appear, but more than anything, hearing that a lot of decisions were having to be made in September. And that doesn't have to be big earth-shattering decisions, although it can be. It is also to do with behaviours and patterns that we have within ourselves that we finally sort of look at and we say, enough, you know, I'm changing this, enough. And what I've actually written down here on my little post-it note to remind me is Metatron is saying it's time to commit to those decisions and to see them through. There's been a lot of energy this year, which has been a bit of sort of dilly-dallying and sort of back and forth. And that is, in essence, a lot to do with the fifth dimensional energy, which is very much to do with expect the unexpected. You have to go with the flow. You can make a decision one day, and then sometimes life just comes in and takes you down a different branch of the river. But having said that, we still have to be very present in every moment that we are at and not be so fixated on what may happen tomorrow. So I feel as though October, I'm hearing the word, it's about hunkering down and committing to whatever it is that we've set in motion in September. Also committing to longer term decisions that may be about 2017. So if you've got some ideas coming in, plans for next year, dreams that you're suddenly thinking, yes, I really want to do this, now is a time for commitment. Okay, I hear that word so strongly. It's about commitment, and it's about seeing through what your decision was in September. Okay, and if you're feeling, well, I didn't make any decision, it's not too late, but it's a time for really nailing our colours to the mast is what Metatron is saying, and seeing things through. So to take off that what you will. Before we get into the cards, and I've got two decks of cards that I'm going to use today. I'm going to use the Oceanic Tarot deck. I can't remember the lady's name that did them. Apologies. Jane Wallace, that's right. And they have been sitting atop my Metatron's Cube grid all night, and it's a really lovely way to just energize cards when you're going to be working with them, and obviously setting the intention that it's Metatron's energy going into those. I've also got some Celestite here, which has been sitting on the next, she said, throwing it across the desk. Sorry, Crystal, that was a bit harsh. Celestite has been sitting upon the fifth tarot deck, okay, which I've used before, and I really like. I keep going back to this deck, I have to say, because I really like the fact that the images that you get are open to interpretation. I increasingly don't like to use decks which are just so prescriptive, and it's like, this is the card for blah blah blah. I really like to be able to use them intuitively. That's also been sitting atop a Flower of Life grid, and I really encourage you that if you're using oracle decks on a regular basis, you've got to keep their energy clear. Okay, it's really important, by infusing them with crystal energy, by putting them onto grids the way I do, smudging them, whatever it is, and setting the intention all the time that this deck is to help for the highest good and for the highest amount of knowledge, wisdom and love to come through them. Before, as I say, though I do that, I just want to mention two other things, which I hope you'll excuse me. I just wanted to mention this beautiful necklace that I'm wearing. And if I put that up to the camera, you can see that. It was gifted to me in America, and it's called Petoskey Stone. And I just wanted to read a little bit about it because it's actually very old. It is an arrow or a spear head-shaped pendant made from Petoskey stone. It's 350 million year old fossil coral, and it's found in Michigan's Lower Peninsula. And it's very much linked into the native indigenous tribes, and it has a lot of I can feel just the ancient wisdom within it. So I'm wearing that today. And I've also got this great big lump of what looks like rock beside me. I don't think the colours are going to come out particularly well on the camera, but it has got this sparkling, it's not really showing, it's got this sparkling blue energy within it. This is blue quartzite, and it's found in Virginia, where I was staying. I was really lucky. There was a guy there who actually dug this piece up for me, and so I didn't have to get my hands dirty even. But this particular mineral is found in that part of the world, and he was explaining it's like a blue vein that goes all the way through the Earth's core. So if you're in the line of that vein, then you will find it in the Earth, and I think it comes out somewhere like India, where, so I love the fact there is this energy here that just sort of is tracked, and you're able to see it across the world in terms of the Earth's core. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is this little quartz crystal, which was part of a water blessing ceremony that we did at Sevenoaks. And I was joined by Lady Lorraine. Lorraine, hello, if you're watching this, thank you so much for the work that you did, who took us through a water cleansing ceremony. What is it with the crystals today? I'm going to tune into why I'm dropping them in a moment. But it was a water cleansing ceremony based on the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto, and it was about giving something good back into the earth via the element of water. So we all put our intentions into the water, and it was gifted back actually to the trees that were there. There was one particular tree that we'd all tuned into that we felt was the one that should receive the gift of this water. But yeah, these crystals are really alive today. I mean, I'm a bit clumsy at the best of times, but I'm not usually throwing rocks around when I'm making videos. So let's just tune into what they're trying to say to us today. Okay, it feels as though there are many changes coming up from the Earth's core, and you can take that in a fearful way in terms of earthquake, but that's not actually, I mean, it may well happen, but that's not the main message here. What I think the crystals are trying to convey today is that we place so much emphasis on new rays and new vibrations coming in from above, from the higher realms. We fixate on, well, not fixate, that's not quite the right word, but we pay attention to what the sun is doing, and solar storms and sunspots, and we're starting to get used to talking about space weather affecting us. But the crystals today are actually saying, of course, there is weather, not quite the right word, but weather energy that comes up from the earth. So we see it in the form of volcanoes, of earthquakes, of the seas behaving in strange ways. But actually just sitting here, particularly with this celestite, feels a very important crystal for us this month. And I think it's because celestite is a crystal that is linked into the higher realms. It's a very good energy for helping us to connect into angels in particular. It's got a beautiful powder blue colour to it. But it also, just holding this, it's so grounding as well, because it's obviously from the earth. It's been dug up from the earth. I think it's a following on from some of the teaching in Virginia, which I did, which was as above, so below. And actually even looking at the paintings that I'm sat right in the middle of, we've got Archangel Metatron to my right, who represents the higher realms. And then we've got the native elder in red, who represents the earth and the land. And there is just this thing about the need for balance at the moment for all of us between as above and so below. I think some of us who are on our spiritual path can get very attracted to the wonderful energies of going up, of going up to the higher realms, of meditating in the astral planes, visiting the angelic realms, because it feels good, and I always teach, it should never be about escapism. It should be about sensing that, but then bringing that energy back into the human physical body to help us light up our own self. But there's something here about the need to dig deep this October, to ground in a very, very profound way. And I don't know, this Celestite feels a great teacher this month. So if you've got any of it, maybe link into it in October. I sort of want to call it the crystal of the month, because I'm going to carry on holding it actually as I just do the reading for us now. So let's just put that there. Okay. Having got crystal dust all over my desk, I'm now going to shuffle the cards. And I think we're going to go first to the Oceanic Tarot deck. And let's just ask them for some guidance for October for all of us. Take 6. Okay, the one on the bottom of the pack is drama. Archangel Metatron always teaches for us to detach from drama. So I'm just going to put that there, and it'll probably make more sense when we look at the other 6 cards. Okay, so the first card we've got is endurance. The second card we've got is healing. The third card we've got is the energy of the sun and happiness. The fourth card we've got is completion. The fifth card we've got is potential. And the sixth card we've got is practicality. So just putting all of those together, I just want to tune into what they are trying to say to us. And it does feel as though there's a very clear story coming through straight away. And I actually do want to start with that drama card. Drama is what stops us from really engaging with ourselves, with our own inner truth, with actually what we are meant to be doing, with focusing on the highest priority in any one day. And drama distracts us from actually what is real. And you can take this at a collective level, and you can bring in the Kim Kardashians of this world. And that's not judging her, but it's just, she represents celebrity and all of the culture that goes with that. And some people are so obsessed with maybe what she is doing, or somebody like her, we're just using her as an example, that it actually stops them from really looking at their own life. We can get so caught up in other people's soap operas, whether it's on a television programme, whether it is in the celebrity culture that is exalted in our society, that we lose sight of our own issues and what actually needs doing. Metatron's talking about the fact that many of us are on automatic pilot a lot of the time. He's using that very term. And when you're on automatic pilot, you aren't really living. You are just existing. You are going through the motions. You are going to work. You are doing the shopping. You are, even if you're living a spiritual life, sometimes you can be doing the rituals, but you can still be on automatic pilot. You're not really deeply engaging with what needs addressing, or what needs honouring, because it isn't all about something needing healing or addressing this month, although we have got the healing card. It's about going within and really feeling, really engaging with life, with your life that is completely unique to you, and letting go of all the other stuff that is actually completely and utterly unimportant. Even with regard to politics, which at the moment, coming straight out of America, is obviously very in your face at the moment, with who's going to win and who's saying this, who's doing that, how people are behaving. Metatron is saying, make your decision and then step away from it. You don't have to engage in the drama of all of it. It's just about making a decision and committing to that. So whether that's in terms of a political vote, whether that is in terms of, as I said at the beginning of this video, what you're doing with your own life, let go of all the stuff that's unimportant. It feels a very important message for October. Because the first card we've got here is the card of endurance. But we've also got cards which are to do with potential, practicality. It just feels as though October is a month for getting back to work, okay? And getting back to the nitty-gritty of life, okay? We've had the summer months. People have had holidays. We've still only got 4 more months left of 2016. It's really easy to almost get into the trap of coasting through to the rest of the year, to the end of the year. I mean, God forbid I say the word Christmas, but you know, it's already starting to happen. The shops are already starting to fill up with Christmas cards, and it's October the 6th. And there's this thing about missing life, you know, just fixating on the next thing that's coming up. Metatron is saying, no, dive into this month. This is what's important. It feels as though there's much to do in October. A lot of potential. I want to say potential to make money as well, okay? Potential for abundance. We've got the Pentacle card here. And it's next to the card of completion. And I feel as though for some of you that are watching this, it might be the end of an old way, which is to do with lack and poverty consciousness. So the universe effectively is an abundant place. There is enough for all. It's about finding what you are passionate about in life and going for it and sticking to it and committing to it. And if you do that, you will not fail, as long as obviously it's also you're on your right path to start with. But that's where the Metatron energy comes in to help you, remind you of what it is that you actually should be doing. And if you're thinking, well, I need somebody else to tell me that, then I'm almost wanting to put a great big red stop sign up, because the Archangel Metatron energy is all about a bridge back to your higher self. It's an angelic energy, but effectively what it's trying to do is it's trying to bring a bridge back to you. Metatron's never going to say to you, oh yes, definitely go for this job or that job, or go commit to this person or that person. He will bring it back to you and say, what do you think? What does your higher self think? And then he will help to give you the strength to commit to that and to see it through, and to support you through any of the ups and downs that come from making that decision, because you have free will. So it feels as though I almost want to say this month, if I'm being really honest with you, it feels as though he may, the Metatron, Archangel Metatron, and this applies to me as well, he may just take a step back, okay? And I explained to the American group about this. Sometimes the Ascended Masters and the Archangels take a step back when we actually need to get on with it, when we actually need to take responsibility and make some moves ourselves. So if you've been in a complete state of inertia, thinking, I don't know what to do, I'm waiting for the divine sign, I'm waiting to be told by somebody else, it doesn't work like that. This is a month for basically looking at the cards which are your life on the table, making a decision if you haven't already made it in September, and then starting to take action and see it through. It's a very practical month, okay? It feels a very practical month. And also a happy month, because we've got the energy of the sun, which is the energy of happiness. I want to pull some other cards to just go a little bit deeper now. So that's like an overview. I'm going to now take up the fifth tarot deck. And whilst I'm just shuffling these, that the energy of the colour energy that I chose for this month is the purple. Okay, so I've got purple, it's called plum, but it's a very deep, rich purple colour. And I feel that one's coming through now, because if you think about what I've just said about it's a month for doing and committing and moving on with whatever's been decided, that sacral energy needs to be lit up. That sacral energy needs to be alive. Because the sacral area of the body, which is the reproductive area, is all to do with creativity, flow, fertility, sexuality. It's to do with movement, and it can't be stagnant. So if any of you have got any blocks within your sacral chakra, I really encourage you this month to do some self-healing on that. Or if you're not a healer, you don't know how to do it, go and get yourself some healing. But let's just start off with just spraying the purple plum energy, just to get the energy moving in your own sacral chakra. Okay, so if I spray this around myself, and I'd just like you to imagine this beautiful purple energy coming up around you from above, but I'm also being told it's coming around you from below. So it's as though you are being cocooned in this beautiful purple light. The fragrance of this, the scent of this, is quite sweet and floral, has yang yang in it, those of you that know your essential oils, and it has quite an exotic scent. So thinking about an exotic, heady, floral energy scent and the purple ray of colour, we just breathe that in and take it into our sacral chakra. And as we take it into our sacral chakra, it starts to loosen and dissolve any belt, energetic belt, that is around your sacral chakra, that is tying you up in knots or preventing you from being able to unleash your own creativity, your own ideas, your own inspiration into this world and into your life. For some of you, I'm actually seeing it's like a chastity belt. So this links into sexuality as well. Seeing the purple energy just flowing around that chastity belt that may well have been there from previous lifetimes. Putting your hands just onto the sacral area of your body, feeling the heat energy going in and letting go of anything, any belt that constrains you there. I'm also seeing money belts. It's like a belt where if you're a tourist and you go to another country, you put a belt around your middle to keep your money safe. And it's quite fear-based, because it's as though I don't want anybody to steal money that might be in my rucksack or might be in my wallet, so I'm going to keep it onto my body, and then it's safe. You know, I keep money close to me. And again, I want you to imagine that belt just now starting to be taken off in one fell swoop. And it's as though Metatron is just putting it back in your hand. And he wants you to have a more relaxed attitude to money, to sexuality, and to creative flow. And then the energy of the flower of life, which is this pattern, this geometric shape, we are putting that into the sacral area of your body, and it comes in on the purple ray of light. And with that flower of life energy in the sacral, you are more fully able to start to move forward, to flow, and to engage in life again. Okay, so let's just now go to our second pack of cards, and I'm going to choose 5 because this is the 5th tarot deck, and I'm being told we need 5 cards from this for October. So let's just do that and see what we get. 2 have fallen out. – 3, 4, 5, 6 wants to come out as well, which is strength. Probably we need the strength for some reason. Okay, what have we got? We've got gratitude, the genie, the lamp that has been rubbed, and we are starting to manifest what it is that we wished for. I'm hearing be careful what you wish for. The elemental of feathers, to me this is the hurricane. I'll talk about that in a moment. Universal dream, number 4. Number 3, can't count. Number 4 is the seeker of shells. That's about the emotions. 5 is oneness, and then we've got strength. Okay, right, let's just look at them as they've come out. Okay, so there's quite clear messages coming out here. The 9 of shells, gratitude. We have the genie lamp. Is it Aladdin? The pantomime Aladdin. In the UK we have pantomimes every Christmas, and Aladdin is quite a popular one. And the story is, yes, you rub the lamp and then the genie pops out and he grants you your wishes. And here we've got the 9 of shells, and it looks very, very beautiful. So some of you have been, it almost feels like there's some karmic reward coming back for you, because those of you that are getting the real abundant stuff coming in at the moment, it's as though you rubbed the lamp and you wished not just for yourself, but for others. You wished for the highest good. Gone are the days of just wishing from ego, self. So gone are the days of, you know, the whole, what was it called? What were those books called that were really popular a few years ago? The Secret, was it The Secret? The one effectively, which is about, you know, you wish for the red sports car and it turns up on your drive. I've never been into that, because at the end of the day, that's ego. You know, do you really need the red sports car? No, you don't. Might be nice, but it's about wishing for abundance, not just for yourself, but for example, if you were wishing for money, what would you be doing with that money over and above being comfortable yourself? You know, we've gone beyond individual wants and needs, and we have to now bring in the collective. So, but it's also the energy of gratitude, you know, being grateful also for, even if you have one, I'm almost seeing them as a pearl, you know, if you have one pearl as opposed to 9 pearls, being grateful for what you have in life. The energy of gratitude is one of the fastest ways to raise your vibration. That is the truth. If you wake up in a negative state and it's like you're into victimhood and poor me, if you can just fixate on one thing that you're grateful for in your life, it will help enormously for that day. You know, it's so important to get into gratitude. Okay. Sorry, I'm pausing because there's a phrase in my mind coming about pearls and pigs and swine, and I can't quite remember what the phrase is. I'm sure you'll tell me in the quotes in the comments below. Not putting pearls before swine, something like that. Don't know. I'll have to tune into that after I've made the video. Elemental of feathers is the hurricane. Okay, this is the hurricane that's coming. This is the tree that is able to bend and not break, despite extraordinary forces put into it. What do I want to say about this? It's Mother Nature doing her thing. That tree looks very feminine. It is the shape of a woman, isn't it? It's Gaia birthing, contracting. I'm hearing the word contraction, just as birth comes after a series of sometimes painful contractions. There are a few painful contractions on the way, okay? But it is part of the birth process. It's what the earth does. The earth is a living, sentient being in her own right. And she wants to be noticed at this moment in time. And it's coming in through the patterns of weather in many different places, not just in hurricane season, but also in, if you look at this card, there is also sunshine and I want to say balmy weather in the background. And I'm feeling that that is maybe places around our planet which maybe are warmer than they normally should be. Maybe winter should have started and it hasn't. And actually that can be as concerning. So I guess we've got a bit of a global warming card here coming in, as well as nature doing her natural thing, which is hurricanes in some parts of the world. There's also nature behaving in slightly strange ways, but allowing her to do that, because I feel like I'm seeing her as a woman giving birth, and I'm seeing her symbolically as having to move and writhe around a bit in a bit of discomfort to get to where she needs to be. This whole thing, this message is about, and actually I'm just looking at the card on the bottom of the pack, which is death. Now that's not death of ourselves, that is death of the old way. That is death of planetary consciousness that has had its day. And actually the card that then follows it is number 1, which is the new beginning, divine mind. I strongly feel, I mean, I don't know whether this is just October, I'm wondering whether it's for the rest of this 2016, but nature, Earth herself, Gaia, is trying to propel us where we are really stubbornly stuck into wake-up call, into getting away from this drama and fixating on what's really not important, and getting back to the core of being alive on this planet, which is about honouring our own path, diving into our own spirituality and our own inner truth, taking responsibility for ourselves, connecting into our own I am essence and finding our divinity within that, and also honouring the earth upon which we live. It's almost going back to that beautiful native elder that's behind me. Not that we have to go and live in teepees and things like that. We can still live a modern life, but we have to do so respectfully of the planet that we're on, and being drawn to sort of the peace pipes that he's holding there as well. I'm hearing this cannot go on. That's what I'm hearing. This cannot go on. And that is about many, many different things. It's about political structures that are falling away at this time. It is about individual structures in our own life that have to fall away to make way for the new. The era of truth is coming, and we have to be custodians of that truth. As we look at number 4, which is universal dream, the polar bear, the creature that looks so beautiful, and he's white, and white is about purity, but you know, you wouldn't want to mess with a polar bear. And this is reminding me of something we did in America, where we connected into the animal that we felt we were. So we were connecting into the power animal, well, not necessarily power animals, but just which animal did we identify with. And I think I said I identified with the lioness, because you know, she's strong, and she looks after her family, she's protective, she's also very powerful, but there's also this message about don't mess with her, because if she really needed to, she could fight her own corner. And I feel as though there's something here for all of us as spiritual warriors of light, which is not to be trodden over, not for our voices to be constantly ignored and derided, and to be able to rise above that. So not to fear what other people think, not to fear criticism, not to fear the people that think you're mad and, you know, that you're worshipping some devil, or, you know, I get lots of criticism on this page and other places. It's what is true for you, you know, being at peace within yourself, but being the warrior who knows when it's time to actually stand up and fight and be powerful in their speech as well. And I'm looking here at, I was doing some clearing in my room when I got back, and I was throwing loads of stuff away, and I just came across this poem that somebody had given me, and I just want to read it because it feels very appropriate for all of us at this time. It says, "If there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. If there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. If there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. It's a Chinese proverb. Just read it one more time. If there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. If there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And if there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. Okay, just wanted to bring that in. Okay, last three cards. Seeker of Shells, the Mermaid, sitting atop the rock. This is all about mastering the emotional world. She's got the moon. The tide may well have come in, but it's peaceful. It's almost like the opposite of this card. So peace comes back. It is restored. There was a weird thing I saw in the newspaper yesterday here in the UK. I'm assuming it's fake, to be honest, but it was like the body of a mermaid that had been washed up on a beach. It was all a bit gory and yucky and decomposed, but it had a tail, and people were saying it looked like a mermaid. Now, I don't know, I'm not saying it was. All I'm trying to say is that it was about the mermaid energy, trying to waken people up to what do mermaids represent. They represent the fact that we can swim within water, we can breathe within water, we can live our life underwater, which feels completely impossible because we can't really do that. But the point is, it's symbolic, and water is representative of our emotional state. And there have been so many emotions over the last few months that have led up to the decisions that we've had to make recently. And it's about, I think she's just there saying it's about learning to swim within the new waters of our life. Yeah, nice peaceful card. Oneness. There's not much I can say to that really, other than it's a unity consciousness, it's collective consciousness, it's the 6 lotuses there. What do I want to say about that card? Well, it comes next to the card of strength, I guess. So it feels like we're stronger together. We need to be together. We need to be in with like-minded people. Those of you that are just starting off on your spiritual path and maybe a little bit wary about sharing what you believe, join a meditation group, get with people who are of your tribe. There are many of us out there. We are all stronger together, whether that is in physical terms or whether it is in energetic terms. The fact that you're watching me here, we are connected across the ethers. We can meet in person, but it's about knowing who your tribe is. But there's strength coming in for all of us, I feel, this month. Okay, I know I've gone into 43 minutes, but one thing I did want to do was something I never do, which is, I know a lot of people who do monthly forecasts, they fixate on love and relationships. And because the Metatron energy is very much about this teaching, really, more than anything, I don't usually do that. But I did just feel this month, just as a little extra, we would have a little look at the energy of love and relationships. It's like a bonus if you've watched this far. Let's just see what's going on in the collective with regard love and relationships. So I'm going to use this deck because I find this deck really good for relationship stuff. This is the Oceanic Tarot deck. Just put them back, give them a good shuffle. And let's see what Archangel Metatron has to say on love and relationships for October. And obviously this is going to be general. I know some of you are in relationships, some of you are married, some of you are not. Lots of different ramifications out here. So it's going to be general, but let's just see what the... Oh, that one falls out. Options has just fallen out. Okay, all right. Options. Love and relationships for October 2016. Archangel Metatron. Drama. conflict. Growth. 2 more. Love and relationships. State of the energy out there. How the energy is affecting love and relationships. High Priest wisdom. Energy of love. On the bottom of the pack, thank God to see it, passion. Queen of Wands, passion. But it's on the bottom of the pack, which means it's latent or it's wanting to arise, but it's being a little bit thwarted actually by some quite difficult energies here. So I'm feeling as though the whole realm of relationships is maybe proving to be a little bit tricky at the moment. But that's not to say that there isn't positivity there as well. So let's just put the passion card there. The first one we have is drama. We've got our Knight of Swords again, drama. But I'm focusing more on the fact that when I say he's a man, I don't mean that it's the men that are causing the drama. I'm talking about how it's the masculine energy that is causing the drama in relationships at the moment. And you can be a woman with a lot of masculine energy. I've got a lot of masculine energy within me. I just have quite a pronounced masculine energy within me. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's the masculine energy that is causing the problems in relationships at the moment. And the masculine energy is the doing, active energy. And actually what we haven't got here, well, we've got the Queen of Wands here, passion, but she's sitting waiting patiently, because I'm not feeling a lot of soft energy here at all around love and relationships at the moment. We have, thank goodness, to counteract the Knight of Swords and all his drama. And I'm wanting to say here, you know, wanting to make his point is the only point that is worth hearing. And, you know, he's got his sword of truth there, but he's defensive. He's got his defences up. It doesn't feel like he's not looking at you. He's looking to the side. He's just interested in what he can see. He's only fixated on one perspective. But fortunately, we've also got the High Priest here, which is the card of wisdom, and he is looking you in the face. So that counteracts that a little bit. And he's actually got his hand out like that, as if to say, what do you need? You know, what do you need? And that might be, what do you need for me to hear? What is it that I can do? So it's almost like spirit coming in and saying, look, I can help you, but you have to let go of this position, which is this defensive, almost like that I want to do that, you know, that I'm right, he's wrong. It's not going to work this October. So there has to be another way. I think we said that earlier on, comes into love and relationships as well. Holding his hand out, how can I help? Okay, but it's take my hand, how can I help? If you feel into the energy of this person's posture, it is very soft, it is very gentle. Can you imagine if you put your hand into his and you were in a very strident, you know, aggressive, assertive, dramatic, you know, heightened, gossipy state? It wouldn't work. He needs you to settle down, calm down, let go of all that nervous energy, let go of all of the he said, she said, all that type energy, and just sink into your heart. Lower your energy into your heart. Let go of who's right, who's wrong, and take his hand and let him show you another way. Because there is the card of options. It's also, we've got 2 pentacle cards here. So we've got money, energy coming in here. Options and security for these 2. Conflict. I want to say one of the things that's getting in the way of real connectedness and intimacy and union is the word I'm hearing with another, is material stuff. Money, work. And you can read that anyway, because I know some people watching this may well be going through relationship breakdown. So if you're going through relationship breakdown, or if you're wanting to break free but you're worried about money, I feel that the advice here is that options are there, growth is available, but you have to let down your defenses a little bit. There is a lot of conflict here. It's a bit of a messy, it feels a bit messy, to be honest. The cards that I'm looking at feel messy because we've got drama, conflict, options, security, growth, and wisdom. So there's 3 good ones and there's 3 bad ones. And it's almost as though, well, we're entering Libra, aren't we? The Libran energy, which is all about balance. It's almost as though, what are you fixating on? Are you fixating on the negative aspects of relationship and love? Or are you concentrating on growth and positivity and new beginnings? And that applies whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. I'm going to pull another 2 cards just to try and get some more insight into what on earth is going on here. Let's see what's going on with the conflict. Heartache and success. Oh, blimey, there is some challenging energy out there. Okay, so next to conflict, we've got heartache. Some of you are definitely going, some relationships are definitely breaking up at this time. And that's difficult. Okay, it's difficult. It's where you need to really sink in deep into your own inner power. The High Priest is there, whether you feel that's Metatron, whether it's any other guide, your own inner self, obviously. Help is there, but it feels as though October is a month where some relationships may not survive, but that is just a percentage. It's not everybody watching this. There is also, on the flip side, we have success, we have security, we have growth. I'm just seeing the scales. I'm seeing the Libran scales here, okay? And it's almost as though, I think what I want to say, just taking the cards away from one moment, tuning into those scales that Metatron is showing me so clearly. It's like, if you are in a relationship, what have you put into your relationship, and what has your partner put into a relationship to keep it on an even keel and to keep it balanced? If one person has been putting all of the things into their side of the scale, you know, you're not going to be in a good place. So you have to correct it this month. There has to be a coming together where both of you start again. I'm going back to that first thing that Metatron said to me. It's about making a decision, committing to it and seeing it through. Now, for those of you that have decided to stay or are happy in a relationship, that's great. What can you do to keep it growing, to keep the spark alive? Whether it is joining something, whether it is just spending more time actually talking to each other, turning off the TV an hour earlier, going to bed an hour earlier, going for a walk together, going out and having fun. You know, I don't know what it is, but what can you do to encourage even more happiness in that relationship? But equally, the other side of the scales is if it's a relationship that actually is not meant to survive this course, and it's not for going into next year. It feels as though some relationships are being allowed to let go. So I'm almost seeing the scales, and I'm seeing, you know, one relationship here, and it's as though the sand is being poured away, and that's hard, but you will be given the strength that you need to cope with that. Okay. Okay, so final card. I'm aware this video has gone on to nearly an hour, so it's probably going to take ages to upload, so I might as well just keep going for a couple more minutes. Let's just have a final card, please, Archangel Metatron, for October. Overall guidance, please. Okay. Practicality. It was the one that came out at the start, wasn't it? And we've got it again. Practicality. It's a practical month. Libra's quite a practical sign, actually, because at the end of the day, they're always trying to work out what's the right thing to do or what's the wrong thing to do. And they make measured choices, don't they? It can drive you mad, actually. I live with a Libran. My husband's Libran, so it's like, oh my gosh, you know, just make a decision. But that's the whole point. This month is about making decisions and committing to them. Practicality. Oh, okay. What he's saying to me is sometimes some of us spiritual warriors, we don't like to be very practical. We like to live in the realm of inspiration and dream and magic and mystery and discovery, and all of that is beautiful. I love all of that, but there are times when you just got to be really practical and you've got to get back down to it, you know. So if you take my example, you know, coming back from a wonderful time in America, there was so much planning that went into it. There was a lot of hard work and energy. It all came together. We've had a fantastic time. I've really enjoyed myself. October is about this today. It's about going and doing the ironing. You know, I've got to go and do the ironing. I've got to go to the shops and get the food in. I've got to clean the bathroom. You know, there's a side of me that doesn't want to do any of it. You know, I'd quite happily just sit here talking to you for the rest of the day because this is what I love. But practicality is what also part of the spiritual world. Okay, it's about being mindful when you do the washing up, being mindful when you walk around the supermarket, and actually being grateful for the fact that there are shelves full of food and that you can hopefully afford them, or even if you can't afford them, there is cheaper options there to make a nice meal for yourself. It's being grateful for, you know, the children. It's being grateful for the older parents that maybe need to be cared for. It's about getting down to practical stuff. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. That was October's message. I wish you lots and lots of love. As I say, keep updated with me on my Facebook page, which is Angelic Celestial Colours. That's on Facebook, and I'm not on Twitter. I'm not really into Twitter. So you find me there or here on YouTube. Lots of love, everybody. Have a good October. It feels like it's going to be a busy month. It's a practical month. It's a month for getting on with it. Okay. Yeah. Namaste. Bye-bye.